An update on the cabbages. One of the allotment neighbours very kindly has lent me some shade netting because the pigeons have been eating the cabbages. So the slugs weren't too bad, they've had a nibble here and there, but the pigeons have really started deciding that's their favourite breakfast. So for the time being I've got some cane sticks in there, and then I've just draped that over and I've woven canes in and out of the holes on the edge of the shade netting. So because of this great big bit here that hopefully it's going to be moved at some point somewhen, it's causing quite a bit of shade over here, so I'll have to see how these ones do now. They're catching some sunshine, but it's only the corner bit here when the sun comes around late afternoon. Now at the other side, got a bit of kerplunk going on here. I've had to use what I can get my hands on, what I've got left at home, so I've got chicken wire around the outside, that's all I've got. And then I've got canes that I've brought from the garden at home, and I've got a load of canes that are on the site here which I was going to get rid of, but now I'm glad I haven't. So hopefully this is going to stop the wood pigeons, because that's all I've seen on site, getting down to the cabbages. Some of the damage on them is quite bad. You can just see through there. I've had a real good time pecking at these. So those bits there are slugs, and then all the top bit up here I've been told are pigeons. And that one there, it's lost quite a few of its top leaves. So the ones that I hadn't room for, I have just planted in here where there's gaps. The ones at the edge that were here, I've had to move inside, so the spacing isn't right, but I'm just going to have to see how they grow. And then today, it's been the first longest break in the weather we've had with no rain. I've managed to plant the second grapevine. That's those ones there, so I'm not sure how they'll come out. But yeah, finally managed to get that done, and right now I'm just getting the wood chip mulch and covering the rest of the cardboard up. I'm hoping to do just one more run while the sun's out, and I should have that bit there and that bit there done in one go. Yeah, so it's nice to finally see the sun. But if the rain could just stop for about a week, just so I can carry on and get things done, that would be great. Now I'm just removing all the kerplunk sticks from on top of what I made here, because I've been keeping an eye on the cabbages and something is still eating them. Now I know it's definitely not the pigeons, because there's no way they would have been able to get through all those canes, but some of these are suffering quite badly. So I think the slugs are still able, obviously, to get in through the mesh. If it is slugs, it could be snails. And also the copper tape obviously wasn't good quality one, because it's not doing its job at keeping them away. So I've now got some extra little components to build a cage with. So I'm going to use these to build something similar to what I've got here, because the cabbages under here don't seem to be too badly affected. Something is eating them. I don't know if you can see that down in there. So something is nibbling at them, but I don't think it's as much as what the ones over here are suffering like. So I've got this insect netting. It's supposed to keep out insects and carrot fly and other tiny creatures. It's really fine. I just need to try and work out somehow of making a frame for it and keeping it down on the ground. So this is the new tent. I'm not sure how many slugs it's going to keep out. I've tried to bury in the edge a little bit just to give it a bit of weight. It's not perfect, but hopefully it might save the cabbages a little bit better. I have to wait and see what happens. When you get a delivery of nice fresh new wood chip, it's like Christmas.
You're funny.
Just a quick video because it's a little bit untidy, because it's been raining so much in the last couple of days. We've finally wood chipped the whole of this area, and then obviously that's why that's all been displaced over here. And then I've got some candelabra primulas which are a bit surplus in my back garden. They're growing a bit mad, so I've taken that one out and popped this one here. I've got a tiny little one here which I've planted. This was in the front garden, so it's getting full sun, and they actually like to be in shade and quite damp conditions, but I think it's been attacked by the vine weevil larvae in the front garden because I didn't nematode the soil in September. The ones in the back garden obviously doing okay, but I'm going to have to see the condition of the ones in the front garden. I'm not going to bring them here because I don't want to bring vine weevils over here, but I checked the soil and the roots for that one and killed the grub that I found. But I will nematode that when I get some stuff from online. So we had a new delivery of the wood chip, so we've popped that down. It's got yew in it though, the yew tree. Well, I'm pretty sure that's yew tree, something like yew. So I won't be able to use any of that in the chicken coop if I ever need to, because yew is poisonous to the chickens. But I've just given them their corn for the evening, so they're all happily pecking away. And then quick update on the cabbages, something is still annihilating them. No idea what, because I'm not down here late in the evenings, night time, to try and work out what it is, so I can't really do a slug or snail pick. But there's some cabbage there that the chickens can't eat because it's well past its best, so I've scattered that around in the hope that slugs are going to eat that and actually leave my cabbages alone that are trying to grow. So it might be a bit counterproductive, but the chickens have had the best bits of that cabbage. So yeah, that's as far as we've got at the moment. There's always something to guilt trip you about clearing your allotment site, and today this little green caterpillar is probably it. So I'm just trying to dig out this dock leaf that's rooted itself right in the wrong place, and yeah, what do I come across? Tiny little caterpillar making his home in there. So I'm just going to move him to another dock leaf which isn't being disturbed. There we go, nice new home. I hope I managed to get all of this out of the ground, but that's how big that one was. Foot for scale. Maybe not the longest, but it was getting to be quite a size. I did hear the root crack as I pulled it up, so I hope I've managed to get everything up, but there could still be a little bit left in there. But by making sure you dig up all of the root, then it doesn't come back. So that's one gone. So whilst clearing turf is going to go on my list of least favourite things to do at the allotment, one satisfying thing is when you find a clump of roots and you dig them all up, which means they can't grow whatever it was they were going to grow again, because it's either going to be thistles or bindweed. So the roots look quite similar when they're that pale colour, but thwarted, you're going in the bag, never to grow in that spot again. Sounds a bit mean, but they have their place, but it's just not where I want to grow other stuff, and they tend to take over. You know, if they grew in a little corner somewhere and kept themselves to themselves and benefited wildlife that way, wouldn't have a problem. But this here is going in the bag. It's quite dark now, sun's just setting. It looks a little bit lighter than what it actually is. So I've just managed to make a start on the next set of beds. Feel a bit better about it all now I've cleared those pieces of turf. Hate doing that job, so I was kind of putting this off for a little bit. But now I've got all that done. Heap the soil up into the middle for the start of the next bed. And then ready to do the second one. Shouldn't be too bad because this one was weeded a while ago, and thankfully not too many of the weeds have actually come back. Just need to work out how big a root system this little tree's got on it, and once I dig it out, what I'm going to do with it. So I think that's going to be the first thing I need to do next before I can actually make any more progress on doing anything for these beds.